Welcome to Brightstone, everybody. We are thrilled to see all of our friends here today. Wow, what a treat. Look at you guys. I'm excited. I'm just excited. I had to take a minute. I had a moment there. Welcome to Brightstone. We are a post-secondary school for adults with disabilities, and their special needs are served here to the highest regard. So I'm going to be really brief and just say welcome. It's our 25th anniversary, so you're a part of our celebration. And we're going to have a slide, a movie, right? You have a video? We have a video. We're going to talk a little bit about who we are and what we do and who we serve. And then afterwards, if you can stay, I'd love to take you on a tour. So we'll divide up in groups if we need to, but we'll be taking a tour of the facility so you can see us in action. It's really a lot of fun. You know, this is a place where, I'm going to try not to cry. We come to bless these students, and they bless us. I cannot tell you, every single day is a blessing from God. We call this our land of dreams, and it really is. It's amazing. So I hope you will feel that. I hope you will feel loved. And I'm going to stop crying and turn it over to Mindy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Carol Ann. Where was the sign last week at Breakfast with the Mayors? That's all I really want to know. I need one of these. I need it badly. Jeff Simmons may need it from Rolling Hills. He was very patient with everyone and our inability to be quiet last week while he was praying. That wasn't all that good, but welcome this morning to Brightstone. I know most of you. I'm Mindy Tate, CEO of Franklin Tomorrow, and this has been a goal for us to get out here since this campus opened. And I had to overcome my idea that it was too far and to come, and most of you overcame that this morning when you realized that it's not that far, and it's in our town, and it's a great place to be this morning. So welcome to Frank Talks. It's our monthly Frank Talks. We'll have one more in December 12th, I think, 9th. Okay, it's the 9th, December 9th. And that'll be our review preview event, which is always important, and that'll be at Columbia State that morning. But we could not do our Frank Talks without, oh wait, I had to turn it on. Emily said that. Emily told me to turn it on, and I didn't. So we could not do Frank Talks without our partners, and those include Atmos Energy, and Christina Christensen is here in the back. Thank you, Christina. They've been a sustaining partner for Franklin Tomorrow this year, and we appreciate that. And then also our sustaining partner, Williamson Health, and I think Greg is going to come up and tell us a little bit about a video we're going to see.
Thank you, Mindy. And on behalf of the 2,200 employees of Williamson Health, which includes Williamson Medical Center, the flagship hospital for our system, Bone and Joint Institute, and our primary clinics throughout the community, thank you. And another one we're going to talk about, and this just got finished, so I'm going to have to do my cheat sheet. But if you've ever been to an event in Williamson County like Pilgrimage, the Franklin Rodeo, the festivals, Dickens of a Christmas, which is coming up, and many others, did you know that Williamson Health EMS was also there? We provide emergency medical services at events big and small across Williamson County. We're there when you least expect to need us. Whether you have a small wound or a traumatic injury, Williamson Health EMS will be available to serve you. And of course, if you ever need our services, please call 911. Let's take a look at this new video we just finished.
Williamson Health EMS is very much involved in the community, cover events at a lot of community festivals such as the Pilgrimage Festival, Pumpkin Fest, Main Street Festival, but we also cover 5Ks, high school football games, do show and tells and educational events.
Now we're all in sync, it sounds good.
We want to really get out and explain the field of EMS, give them a little bit of taste in not an emergency situation so they can kind of be prepared for what might happen in the future. They may even have a career interest in that.
The song is called Be Warm.
This is our 10th year to be at Pilgrimage Festival. We start operations 5 days before the festival even occurs. We have an EMS professional here Monday through Friday, just for everybody that's setting up all this equipment and supplies and getting the event ready for the festival that's going to happen on Saturday and Sunday.
Most of the people that we take care of, it's not just the people that come to the event, because there's lots of ancillary people and logistics and setup people that are involved in this huge event, so we take care of all of them.
We've had everything from a headache to a traumatic injury, so we want to be prepared for everything.
The best part about being in events like this is we're able to interact with the community, not so much on an acute, emergent level. We're able to interact, tell them what we do. I think it's a great time for us to show our more human side in a less intense situation.
We're behind the scenes. You don't think about us until you need us. And so we want to step out in front and let you know who we are, so you know we're prepared and ready to go anytime you need us.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Williamson Health, for your support as a sustaining partner for Franklin tomorrow as well. But also, we have our presenting partner for Frank Talks, and that's Renaissance Bank. And we have Diane LeBlanc, who's on our board, and Tina Anderson here, and Todd Norman. So I'm going to let you introduce them and introduce this video. I'm going to kill myself with this. Yeah.
Please don't trip. We've got EMS. We could call if we need it, but yes. As Greg shared with you, good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It's a beautiful day in Middle Tennessee. And I wanted to, I know Greg talked about our physical health. We at Renaissance are always there for your financial health and would love to help you in any of those needs that you might have. But I wanted to introduce Todd. Todd doesn't know it, but I talked about him here a couple of months ago. If you were, I think we were at Mercy Community Center, but I introduced Todd. This is real. Todd is really here, and Todd Norman is a Nashvilleian, so we are pleased to have him in our Cool Springs office. He is a commercial lender and has years of experience at Williamson County Schools for his senior in high school. So if you haven't met Todd, please make sure and come up and introduce yourself and make him feel welcome. And of course, we do have Tina here as our branch manager at our Franklin office. So Renaissance Bank tries to put a little fun in banking, and I think this video might be a little fun for a Monday, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Well, I think I'll start us off by saying,
Texas A&M detention started at 5. Why were you here at 5:15?
After all these years together, and you're still so full of surprises. I mean, why lose to Texas at the end of the season when you can lose to Texas and South Carolina?
Why couldn't we take the elevator down?
It's a metaphor.
I know it's a metaphor.
Sorry, that's my fault. We should have left a little bit earlier, but this guy just did not want to leave the top 10.
Look, I am going to make this very simple for you. You three are some of the best teams in the SEC. You are also the conference's best chance to make the college football playoff. But if you keep playing like you did this weekend, then we will all be sitting at home watching Indiana versus SMU in the quarterfinals while Tennessee watches Army's head coach get the Duke Mayo post-game bath. Tennessee, what happened?
Kentucky is good?
You get a great game from Nico, and you are still down at halftime.
Our defense takes about a half to get rolling, and then our receivers, well, let's not talk about our receivers.
dropping more touchdowns than Beck throws interceptions.
And that is saying something.
He might be going for the quattro when we play, y'all, and we'll still manage to win.
Oh, you must be so proud.
Focus on the playoffs.
Look, the only way we're missing the playoffs is if the playoffs are a field goal.
Good one. Oh, and Texas A&M. We are all incredibly disappointed in you.
I know. I love it.
What do you have to say for yourself?
South Carolina is good?
Yes, we are.
Oh, come on. Does he really need to be here?
Do you really need to be in first place in the conference?
Well, I don't see how that's related, but point taken. We're just like 10 points away from being 7-1 and in the hunt for a conference title, which is super depressing to think about, so I'm just not going to.
Oh, must be nice.
Also, South Carolina, I believe you have something for A&M.
Oh yeah. $250K, and I will need a receipt.
This is going straight into the NIL.
Straight into Jimbo's buyout payment. This is 0.33% of the total. Making progress.
I still regret nothing.
Who is it?
Hey, it's me, Alabama. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no, this is a playoff contenders meeting. You are going to want to go down the hall on the right, Citrus Bowl contenders meeting, just past Clemson crying on the floor. You got a question?
No, it's just weird to hear.
In Georgia. I just can't even. What do you have to say for yourself?
Thank God Florida was down to their third-string quarterback.
I'll say you were the highest-ranked team in the conference, and every week watching you, I feel like I'm getting kicked in the nethers.
Welcome to Georgia football.
I think it might be time we talk about your quarterback situation.
Hey, we gotta play who we got. The mailman ain't walking through that door.
You ever thought you'd be saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's 4 weeks left in the season, and we are on the thinnest of ice. We cannot afford any slip-ups.
It'll all work out.
Totally.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
How will it?
We're the SEC.
That's it. You are all walking home tonight. And while you're doing it, I want you not to rely on our conference prestige and influence having an undue effect on committee members voting. That may have worked on FSU last year, but do you think that's going to work on Indiana? Probably, but just win.
So, what do we do now?
Well, I'm physically unable to walk.
Or tackle a running quarterback.
There's gotta be a car to come by and give us a lift. In fact, is that one coming now? He did it.
He's gonna be on the field for the Vandy, South Carolina game?
Because he's not the hero they deserve, but the hero they need right now.
Spurs up. And this episode was brought to you by Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
I just kept wondering where Vanderbilt was in that video, but I think we were kind of due as a Nashvilleian of many years. We were kind of due a little bit. So, thank you, of course, to Line Leadership Group, our coffee sponsor. We appreciate them so much, and we appreciate their support at Frank Talks and Breakfast with the Mayors. And we are so glad to be here at Brightstone. What's tomorrow? Okay, so how many people have already voted? Okay, well, we are the room to be then. Thank you for going out and voting. Of course, tomorrow is Election Day across the country. And in Williamson County, polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There are election centers. You can vote at any one of them. Tell your friends if they haven't voted that they need to get out there and do that if they could. That would be very important. But another way you can make things count is to participate in the City of Franklin Special Census right now. And if you live in the city, you should have received a card in the mail several weeks ago. Here's the news. If you didn't return that or didn't follow and go to the website, you can go to the city's website, franklintn.gov, and find the census link. But if you haven't filled this out, someone's going to come to your house and knock on your door, okay? Don't really want that. Fill that out. You really don't want them to come and see you. The sure they're very nice, but let's make it easy on everyone. And this is equivalent to $175. I think that's right, Mayor Moore. $175. 175 in revenue, state shared revenue, additionally, that Franklin would receive if we reach our goal, our count. So it's a very important thing to do, and to complete that, it's very simple. They want your name and who lives in your household so that you can all be counted. So thank you so much. Kevin Tilbury, come on up. We've got another important city project going on, and Kevin, introduce yourself, and here's the clicker.
Mindy. All right, that was a good video. I'm a Florida State fan, so if there's any fan base that's learned to laugh at themselves over the last year, it's us. So I appreciated the levity. So as Mindy mentioned, my name is Kevin Tilbury. I'm with a firm called Kimley Horn and Associates, but I am also a longtime Franklin resident. Probably not as long as some of you here, but long enough. So to give you a sense, when we moved here, there was only one Chick-fil-A in Franklin. So that's how long we've been here. So I just wanted to talk briefly about a plan that we're doing for this for the city called a Safety Action Plan. I thought I'd start by throwing out a question to you all. Last year in 2023, how many traffic accidents, crashes do you think were in Franklin? Anyone want to take a guess? How many traffic crashes were there on Franklin streets last year in 2023? 800? Close? 2,000? Too many? Okay, fair. Okay, so it's a little bit, it falls somewhere in between. There were 1,700 crashes on Franklin streets last year. Fender benders all the way up to fatalities. So speaking of, in the city, there were 16 fatalities, so someone lost their life or got seriously injured, went to the hospital. So another question for you, of those 16, how many of those are acceptable? Exactly, that's not rocket science. None are acceptable. And so that's the whole premise behind the Franklin Safety Action Plan, is that fatalities and serious injuries are preventable. We know how to design streets to prevent them. And so the U.S. Department of Transportation agrees. They have a grant program called Safe Streets for All, and they award grants to cities to develop the Safety Action Plan. The city of Franklin applied for and received a grant last year, and so now they're doing the plan, and they've hired my firm to do the plan. So again, the goal is to reduce or eliminate all fatalities and serious injuries on the road. And this applies to all users. So does anyone know what a vulnerable road user is? Yep, exactly. So if I'm driving my car and someone hits me at 30 miles an hour, I'm probably going to have a pretty serious car repair bill. If I'm on my bike and someone hits me at 30 miles an hour, I'm going to be either dead or in the hospital. So the emphasis is on vulnerable road users so that we can provide safe places for not only people to drive but also to walk and bike. So Mindy can walk to downtown on Lewisburg Pike and not have to worry about it. So, sore subject. So we're going to do that in a couple of ways. So we're going to look at so I showed you the map previously. So we're looking at the crash data to try and understand where the crash hotspots are and what the causes are, and to identify projects that would help mitigate some of that crash history. And then also we're looking at cell phone data to understand high-risk behaviors as well. And then we'll also identify strategies that the city can do to help prevent crashes and how they review developments, how they build streets, all those types of things. So by now you're probably asking yourself, how can I help? So I'm glad you asked. So as I mentioned, we're looking at the data, and that's going to be important to help us identify how to mitigate some of the safety issues. But there's, probably a deeper story that the data doesn't always tell, and that's where you all come in. If you go to safestreetsfranklin.org or scan that QR code, there are two ways that you can help us. One is there's an online survey that you can take, and then another is that there is a map where you can go in and put comments on specific locations where you've experienced a safety issue, whether as a driver, a cyclist, or a pedestrian. So we'll have the survey open for at least another month. And so there should be plenty of time for you all to go on and tell all your friends and neighbors to do so as well. And then, maybe you'll see us sometime after the first of the year when we have some of the recommendations. But for now, that's it. Thanks a lot for your time.
Great, Kevin, thank you so much. And we will send that link back out again. We will send that out so that people can really follow up with that, as well as the link for the special census. But truly, both of those are very important to our community. Several years ago, we did a neighborhood walkability audit, and we asked you to go out in your neighborhood and identify areas of concern where sidewalks were incomplete, where they were needed, where traffic signs might have been missing or could be added. That was very effective. We presented that information to the city, and many of those, you've seen those sidewalk gaps closing, and that's a great thing. So, Dr. Lane, you had a question? Yeah. So the timing of the traffic lights, that's definitely something you can mention, I'm sure, in the survey to Kevin and the team there. And I don't want y'all sitting in the dark as I introduce you here. We're gonna go on and move on to one more bit here in our program, and I'm gonna ask Elaine. I don't see Cindy. Will Elaine come on up from Mercy Community Healthcare? You may be hearing a lot of organizations, whether we heard from other organizations already today, or you're going to hear from Mercy about being 25 years old. Apparently, 25 years ago, our community woke up and a lot of things happened. And a lot of us can give some credit to certain individuals. But this year, Mercy Community Healthcare is celebrating 25 years. And I'm going to let Elaine tell us a little bit about their upcoming Silver Gala.
Hi, thank you, Mindy, and thank you, Brightstone, for hosting today. This is a beautiful facility, and I can't wait to go on the tour. So if you didn't join us a couple months ago at Mercy, I'm just going to briefly talk about what we got going on a little bit. I got a little bit of our history, and we'll just go through that. Okay, so our mission at Mercy is we exist to reflect the love and compassion of Jesus Christ by providing excellent health care for all and support to families. And so that's just a little bit of information. We're right down the road here in Franklin, right next to where Brightstone used to be, if you guys know where that is. So, and this is just a little bit about our history. So like Mindy mentioned, we are 25 years old, as that is a trend. And so we started in 1999 as a children's clinic. So if you're still calling us Mercy Children's Clinic, that was a while ago, but we're still serving children in primary care. Then we added some mental health and social services. So we do mental health care now. We're in the schools in Franklin Special District and Lewisburg schools. 2010, we opened a patient family support center that we have in our building to help patients with some other needs and to connect them with places like Brightstone and like other nonprofits that they can go to if they need more specialized services. Then in 2013, we started to serve adults, and then in 2019, we went down to Lewisburg, and today we're at the 143 Southeast Parkway location that probably a lot of you were at a few months ago. So that's just then and now. So that was our first clinic in downtown Franklin, where we serve children. And this is our building today that you guys might be familiar with. And so just right down the road from where we started. And yeah, 25 years. And now we serve about 14,000 patients annually. And then the last thing I'll mention is we have our Silver Gala coming up in just a couple weeks. And so if you want a flyer about it, or you can scan the QR code here, we would love for you all to join us and celebrate with us. Thank you.
I'm going to hold it still. Thank you so much, Elaine. I was on the board back in the early days at Mercy, and so glad to see that. And thank you to people like the late Ralph Drury who made that come about. But we have had a lot of speakers today, but we're here to hear from our friends here at Brightstone. And this is the land of dreams, the campus of dreams. And I guess the biggest dreamer is in the room with us back there, and that's Brenda Hawk, who was the founder of Brightstone. And Brenda, thank you for dreaming big, okay? Thank you. But I'm going to turn it over to Susan Sistrunk and Randy and let y'all tell us a little bit about what's going on at Brightstone.
What's on? Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. Good morning. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm Susan Sistrunk, and I'm the Director of Programs here. And we are honored to host Frank Talks here at Brightstone, and so we're so glad that you all are here. A little bit about Brightstone. As we've heard, we are celebrating our 25th anniversary. 1999 was a big year, apparently, for Franklin. So in 1999, Brenda Hawk, our founder, who is in the room today, Brenda recognized that there was a need for services for adults with intellectual developmental disabilities in our community. And there just really wasn't anything. So she did have a big dream, and she dreamed all that you see here today. And thank you, Brenda, for that. So the Land of Dreams was always her vision. The program started with 4 students. I'm told there were 4 students, and today we have 60 in our program. So we've been in this building right at 2 years this week. So I think we moved in November 7th, 2022, I believe. And so we're coming up on our 2nd year anniversary in this building. This building is our program building. If you look out the back window and to the left, you'll see our residential homes. So in this year, in 2024, we opened up our residential program. And in April of this year, we had 4 men very excited to move into their brand new home. And the women's home opened just shortly after in June. So we're going to share a video a little bit about what residential life at Brightstone looks like. As Carol Ann and Mindy mentioned, we will have tours afterwards. We're here, Randy, our Chief of Staff, Randy Elliott, and I are here for Q&A. So any questions that you may have, we are more than happy to answer all your questions and get to know you a little bit better. So.
I'm comedian Nate Bargatze, and this is Brightstone, Living the Dream. For 25 years, Brightstone has been helping adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities to live the life that they envision for themselves. This year, in Franklin, Tennessee, Brightstone opened its first 2 residential homes, including the Men's Feral House.
At Brightstone, I love my independence. I also love just being here and being with my friends. Matthew's great. He always gives me a hug, which makes me feel good because sometimes I need one. Alan, he's got a good heart. It's really cool living with Jack. Jack's really an intelligent guy.
Brightstone's homes include a house manager who empowers and supports the residents as they build and create the life that they envision. This builds independence, responsibility, and personal choice founded on Brightstone's commitment to education and learning.
Education is the foundation of what Brightstone was built on, and our residences are just complementary to what's happening in our vocational day program.
Cameron is one of Jack's Brightstone teachers in the day program. On Saturdays, Cameron is Jack's workout trainer.
We wanted to work on getting stronger. We wanted to work on strengthening his legs, so it makes it a little bit easier as far as him getting around and just doing day-to-day activities.
Every Tuesday, the men at Feral House go to someone else's home to make them feel special.
We're doing it for Jacob. He just had a baby girl, and so we're going to take some food over to them.
Thank you so much. Come on in.
Next door is the Craig Home for Women, where Bethany, Marin, and Julie live. For the past 16 years, Julie drives herself to her job as an honored Lowe's associate.
Lowe's, Cool Springs. I'm an outside cashier. I enjoy being with people.
After the workday, the Brightstone neighbors build friendships and community together.
This is like a neighborhood, so we'll plan like little block parties.
Brightstone's Land of Dreams campus is the first of its kind in Tennessee. Brightstone exists for such a time as now. In 2024, there is a housing crisis in America for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
It's housing for people with disabilities is quickly becoming the #1 issue for us. This is a population that really needs society to help them.
With an increasing population of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, care providing family members in Tennessee are not finding enough housing options and choices.
This is a tsunami. This really is a crisis. What happens when we become 60, when we become 70, and we can't do this?
In 2023, Alan's quality of life was regressing. His aging father was concerned.
Back in December of last year, I carried Alan back to the home he was in, and it was kind of a very discouraging situation, and I knew things were going on that shouldn't be going on. Well, he wasn't getting baths like he should be.
We struggled to keep him awake. He just didn't have a routine. He didn't have a schedule.
See, they picked up people that weren't trained for dealing with special needs people.
He got to the point where he just kind of would sit and was withdrawn.
I wasn't sleeping well at all.
Alan has been a Brightstone student at the day program since 2007. His father and brother felt it was time to move Alan to Brightstone's new Feral House for Men.
Alan's been here at Brightstone 3 months.
Alan is happy. It's such a comfort to me that he is here, happy. And as I've said many times, that's all of our goal, is to be happy. He has found that here at Brightstone.
2 years ago, Matthew's father, Scott, suffered cardiac arrest while spending months in the hospital recovering. Scott and his wife, Karen, grew concerned about the what-ifs for Matthew.
Matthew took the tour Feral House on his own without us there. And at the end of the tour, he said, "I love it."
He's proud that he's independent and doesn't need mom and dad.
This is his first time to live on his own.
I don't need you guys anymore. I'm all good. I'm a dude now. Got my own bachelor pad. We're bored, obviously, at this point in his life.
I've seen a big increase in his self-confidence. It's just been transformational.
Matthew is exactly where he needs to be, and he has definitely launched and become the adult that we always dreamed he would be.
He's going to have a positive, safe environment, regardless of what might happen with us as we grow older.
All right. This is the Brightstone transformational effect for these residents and their families. The transformation begins with love.
Love permeates the culture throughout our organization.
There's so much love, and you got people that really do care about you and care what you think. It's hard to find that. You've got a house manager that cares and loves, and you've got roommates that care and love about you, and that's the perk of going to Brightstone.
We love the individuals we serve. I think for most of our employees, it truly is a calling on their lives to serve at Brightstone and give their life to enriching the lives of others.
In 2024, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signed into law a pilot program to create new housing options. Brightstone was selected to be the only pilot program in Middle Tennessee to provide more housing choices for families. Brightstone's vision for our land of dreams is becoming a reality. With your ongoing financial support, we can continue to love more adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
We're privately funded. Most importantly, we accept no government funding. Our success speaks to the generosity of those donors.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Please don't forget that they need to and want to do more. Please, I would beg people to continue to contribute.
These individuals are so often forgotten. The community has stepped up in such a generous way. We really appreciate it.
It is answered prayer. It's just amazing that people would love someone that much, give financially so generously. Brings tears to my eyes to think that someone loved my son that much. That's the love of God. I love you. It's so unselfish. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's just the greatest thing that could have happened in Alan's life and our family's life. And know at 89, I'm counting down, and I can sleep at night now.
Thank you for supporting Brightstone.
Thank you. So that's just a little bit about a glimpse into what residential life at Brightstone is all about. The women's home, you only saw 3, but we actually have a 4th resident that has moved in since this video was made. Can I answer any questions about Brightstone or about residential? Yes, Mindy. Okay, so this is where I'm going to turn it over to Randy. He is going to share a little bit about the future. So, yes, I've been here right at 2 years. I was not a part of the dreaming. I just happened to be the one that gets to come in and enjoy all the blessings of the dreams. So.
Mindy, thank you for queuing up that question, and I am thrilled to have everyone here. Awareness is still our biggest need, and I am Chief of Staff. A year ago, I transitioned from Director of Advancement, working with Brenda for the past 8 years, trying to raise what turned out to be a $20 million capital campaign. And part of the succession plan was we now have another Director of Development, Jenny Murr, who you'll hopefully know and meet, but my role as Chief of Staff, Jenny's in the back of the room, so it's part of our succession plan and sustainability, but this is a big deal that you're here. Franklin Tomorrow is so well respected, so we're very honored to be able to share a little bit about our vision and future. You're in a 23,000 square foot Center for Learning, Art, and Enterprise. As Susan said, we moved in November of 2022. And when guests do tour, they're very surprised at how comprehensive the educational program is. You see some of the bullets up there, but you'll bump into that when you go through the building if you do stay for a tour. Our mission since the very beginning is comprehensive work, social support, and this used to say future residential community. Now it's actually come to birth. But everything we do is trying to impact the lives of the adults we serve in those 5 ways: mental, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual. We are a faith-based leadership team. We are Christ followers, but families, that's not a filter for enrollment. They can have no faith or be of any persuasion. We're going to do what God calls us to do, and that's to love each other, and that happens every single day. This is the most common question that we get. Well, how's all this funded? So next year, our operating budget's $3.6 million. As Susan said, we don't take any, or you heard Lee say, our CEO, who had a death in the family, or else he would be here. But we don't take any or receive any state or federal money, so we are absolutely thankful for the community support to make this possible. Over 60% of our operating budget, next year $3.6 million, comes every year from the community. And I love that Brenda set that in motion all those years ago. That funding model really invites families in the community to come alongside these parents that are facing a lifetime challenge of providing for their son or daughter, and that helps us intentionally keep tuition as affordable as possible. And you can see the year-round day program. If your son or daughter was at Brightstone, that's $1,400 a month, and we've had adults at Brightstone since 1999. So it's an expensive, and why is it expensive? We have adults that are nonverbal, medically fragile, they may be in wheelchairs, so we have a 1-to-7 teacher-student ratio, and it's all about the quality of care, and it's no way around that. It's just expensive to provide for the oversight and the individual care for every one of those 60 adults. And that funds about 32% of our operating budget, that tuition for the day program. The residential program that Susan just mentioned that we launched this year, that's been Brenda's dream since 1999, was to have a residential program. I always say never underestimate the power of praying women. Got a few in the room, I can see. But our hard cost is $3,500 a month for the residential program. That's a private bedroom and bath, food, transportation, and in-home care. So those 4 families in that home, we're trying not to lose any money, trying not to make any money, but that covers our hard cost. And we have 8 adults. So I'll talk a little bit more. But the rest of the program, 30 full-time staff, full-time RN on staff, and transportation. So we really are very grateful. We would not be here without the love and compassion of the community. You may not know this, but we serve all of Middle Tennessee, but just in our county, in Williamson County, forget disability, our schools, K through 12, there's about 42,000 kids in our school systems, 10% have special needs. After high school, by law, you can keep your son or daughter in the school systems until age 22. At 22, when they age out, 70 to 85% of the adults you see on the screen after high school are back home doing nothing, even those able and willing to work. That's why we exist. Mom and dad don't want their adults sitting on our couch instead of their couch. They want them to have a really meaningful experience, educationally based. And everything that we do, even if it's fun, it has an intentional educational component. So that's why we exist. Yeah, I teared up watching that movie again. This is our 25th anniversary year, and we celebrated with an event with Lady A. They heard about our event, wanted to help us, and that was one of we've been celebrating our 25th all year. We just had Nate Bargatze, America's #1 clean comic. First time we did an event in Davidson County at the Fisher Center on Belmont's campus. If you've never been there, that's what it looks like. Oh my gosh, we filled that hall. 1,700 people came to hear about Brightstone thanks to the draw of Nate Bargatze. We have an annual Christmas program, December 17th. If you've not been, save the date. It will be at Liberty Hall. It's our thank you to the community for loving on us. It's a therapeutic music program. It's their night to shine. They're the only entertainment. We have our retail store open with reception with food afterwards. Hope you'll come. If you want to volunteer, get a little sweaty, learn how to garden. We have a master gardener who leads our volunteer program, and there are lots of ways to get involved at Brightstone. The back of the property, talking about this beautiful 140-acre campus, there are 2 spring-fed stocked lakes. We want to put an ADA fishing pier right there, miles of trails around the lakes. But briefly, the capital campaign, which has been my responsibility for the past 9 years, we launched the campaign in 2017. Brenda said, when she hired me, Randy, we have a big vision. This is what we want to do. Think it's going to be $8 to $10 million. Turned out to be 20.5. Welcome to Williamson County. And it would be the first facility of its kind in Tennessee that's come to life. It truly is. All possible by community support. So purchasing the land, 140 acres. We're just a half a mile outside the city limits, so we had to put our own wastewater treatment plant in the ground. Try raising money for a sewer. That was not easy. And this building and the 2 homes. So that was phase 1. Here's the big master plan that Williamson County Planning Commission in May of 22, unanimous vote, approved everything that we want to do. That gets me choked up. We are cleared to take off, to build everything you see on this master plan. 18 homes, horticulture center, equestrian center, chapel, aquatic center, gym, medical clinic, everything that we want to do, we know where it'll go. And I get asked all the time, Randy, when are you going to do that? And I always say, that's a management question, I'm in sales. It's up to the community. We'll move as fast as the community learns about us and leans in. There's probably another $50 million in capital expense in our future. We don't know how long it'll take, but we'll move as fast as the community leans in and helps us color in the lines of this beautiful campus. You saw that on the screen on that movie. This, in 2021, Bill and Maria came and spoke in front of the community when we were getting ready to break ground. And I'll never forget what he said. He was pointing to the ground. He said, right here in Franklin, right here in Williamson County, right here in Tennessee, this is going to be something we can all be proud of as Tennesseans. And then here's our governor. He turned to Brenda and he said, Brenda, it takes a Holy Spirit-filled person to step up and do something of this magnitude for the benefit of others. And that's you. And it was. So a 30-second commercial on this law that just passed. Brenda knew in 1999 we would be able to build 2 homes and not more than 2 because there was a law to prevent institutional care, warehousing a lot of people under one roof. So the law said if you have a home, you can only have 4 adults in that home. when you have in-home care. Those are 3,900 square foot, 7 bedrooms, 6.5 bathrooms, each adult, 4 by law, 1 bathroom, 1 bedroom for each. And you could have 2 homes side by side. The third and subsequent home would have to be 500 yards apart. Why is that? Well, they don't want black communities, white communities, disabled communities, you know. Rightfully, we want integration. We all want to be together, true community. And that was one way of preventing kind of a congregate care. So we knew we could do 2 homes and then we'd hit that law. Well, the bill was introduced, made it through the House and Senate, and the governor signed it. That 500-yard rule went away. And we were selected as the only by law organization in Middle Tennessee to be able to build homes together on a campus. The law's back. Anyone else wants to do that we were selected as the model facility to do, the law would have to change again. And this was a miracle. Our legislative senators and representatives knew, yep, the law prevented institutional care, but sadly, nothing has been turned on that would allow families to have more choice of where they wanted their adult to live. And they said, let's change the law. Let's let one organization through. Brightstone's highly respected. They have a plan. They have a vision. They already have 2 homes. They're licensed, and they don't even take any government money. Let's let them be the model facility in our state. And we want them to win because we need others to succeed in the future. And let's see if they can succeed. So we're up at bat. It's a big deal. Everyone should be proud of the fact that our state has done something legislatively to meet the needs of families, change the law, and we're up at bat. So pray for us. It's really important. Right now, we finished the $20 million capital campaign in December. That was a heavy lift. You know, oh my gosh, we were all just tearful. What a miracle. $22 million of assets on our balance sheet and no debt. Thanks be to God. No debt. That's a round of applause right there. So the focus right now is homes. Our capital campaign was called Land of Dreams. We're here. This campus is our Land of Dreams. Our campaign now, phase 2, is called Homecoming, the capital campaign for Brightstone. We have 16 more homes that we want to build, but we're going to focus on the next 2, do the site work to put the infrastructure in, water, sewer, electric, for 6 pad sites, do some outdoor recreation courts, operations pavilion, it's a fancy word for maintenance and storage building, and a fishing pier. So that's about $5 million, but our goal is really one home at a time. They're about $1 million. Our builder's building those almost 4,000 square foot, 7 bedroom, 6.5 bathroom custom home for $1 million furnished. You could buy that in Williamson County, you'd say, is this heaven? That's a miracle that we're able to build those homes for cost. That's what that looks like. So we're trying to make sure people know we're ready to move forward. Thanks to that law, we can. We need that because our adults want 3-wheel bikes and carts to be able to transport around. We need to empty our barn. We can't do that. So that's really not fancy, but it's definitely a program that will impact our whole day program. And we need some outdoor activity areas. Love to put that pier on the back of the campus. We do already have a chapel and event center designed. That'll be in our future. But there's that list that we just talked about. We're approved and we're ready to move forward. So there's the big picture. I'll stop there. Forgive me for fire hosing you, but if you have any questions while Susan and I are here, we'd love to hear them.
Yes, go ahead. Okay. Sure. So the for our day program, and I just wanted, one thing I did want to mention about the day program, we do have a scholarship program. So the $14.42 that per month that Randy mentioned, that is the cost for full-time, 5 days a week. However, we do not want that to be a barrier. We do not want any financial barriers for students that would qualify for our program. So we do have a scholarship program. Just want to make sure that everybody hears that message. So to qualify for our program, it is a pretty comprehensive assessment process, both for our day program and for our residential. So we start with the application process. Well, actually we start with the tour. the tour is the first place. After the tour, then there is a family interview, an application. If your adult is still in high school, then we will do a school visit. We like to get as much information so that we can support them in the areas that they need the support. We're asked often about a waiting list. We don't necessarily have a waiting list, and we have an interest list. So we have lots of interest, and if you're interested, then you will be put on the list, and you'll get the information, you'll get the communication. And I guess that would be the best place to start too, if you're interested as far as the assessment. We don't. We serve who we can when we can. And we would like to serve them all, and we would love to have space for them all. And so we'll again, we're growing, and just it's hard for me to say, who we wouldn't serve or who we can't serve. We just serve who we can, and we support as many as we can. I'd open the doors and let them say, "Come, everybody." Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Yes. So we do. Thank you for asking. Yes, we do have a bus, and we do have transportation. It's a pretty limited route right now, so it doesn't go everywhere. Many of our students are car riders, so their parents bring them in the morning. Our program is from 8:30 to 3:30. Monday through Friday. We have some students that are part-time, some are full-time. It's just based on their need. We have those that are part-time. Many of them have jobs in the community, or they're involved in other activities. So that is their choice to come just a couple of days a week. Brenda, you want to take that?
If you take government money, you can't be faith-based, number one. And if you take their money, they will dictate who you serve, even if you don't think you're ready and capable of serving.
That's a good answer.
From a skill level. So we've not needed it, and we, Lord willing, will, it would be nice not to have to raise all the money and just get a government check, but we really don't need it. We want to provide care, as Susan said, for who we know we can serve and not who we're dictated to serve. We're trying to err in favor of the adults and the families and do the highest level of care that's individualized and not have to worry about whether we can love on our adults the way we want to love. We're not trying to evangelize, but we pray with them, pray for them. They bump into our faith every day like you start your day, and we couldn't do that if we took the government money.
And a little bit, one difference that I just wanted to share in our model, in our staffing model in the residents, in the homes, we have live-in home managers. And so our home managers really run the home like a family. And that provides that consistent support for those residents. Every resident has goals that they're independent adult living skills that they're working on, and everybody has a goal, and that home manager provides that consistent support. And that's different than a provider home, and we respect the provider homes that are in our community. We need more homes, so we totally respect that. For us, that family model works a little bit better. So you saw with Alan on the video, just having that person that they know loves and supports them, as opposed to somebody coming in, the changing of the shifts all throughout the day.
Thank you so much to Susan and Randy for filling us in. Now, we are offering tours today, so we're going to wrap up just a few minutes early, but I have a question for this lovely door prize offered by Carol Ann. How many acres is this campus? 40. Cheryl said it first, I think. Or what? 140. Someone back that way. Cheryl. Cheryl, thank you so much. 140. There's a lot to learn here today and a lot to open our eyes to other members of our community, and these are our fellow citizens in our community. And being here today, they've welcomed us while we are not able to tour the homes, the residential homes, they've welcomed us into their home today. This is their workplace. This is their place that they come daily or often. And so say hi and please go on a tour. Emily and I were able to go a couple weeks ago and really, really moving. But also, I think everything in the lobby's for sale too, you know, all those nice Christmas gifts you might need before the Christmas rush, quite honestly. So thank you for being here. Don't forget, if you haven't voted or someone in your household hasn't voted, to do so. Participate in the special census and in the safety study for Franklin. And if you want to get a tour, Carol Ann and some others will be in the lobby to get those organized. But thanks for being here, and go out and make it a great day.